And recording. Thanks for listening to this episode of Twos in the Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, Chris and I decided to watch some GCW. We haven't seen it. Excuse me. I have the hiccups. I got the hiccups right before we started recording. I think I drank the seltzer too fast. This truly hard seltzer. And now I'm battling the hiccups. And they're stomping a mud hole in me. But we had a little bit of a lull period in ideas or guests, and a GCW is running shows pretty consistently now, and we're like, hey, let's watch one of those. Kylie's on it, Isaias is on it. Not that we only watch shows that those two people are on, but I think a majority of these shows we watch those two people on. So we decided to watch this show and just banter a little bit about it. Hopefully it's nothing too boring. Hopefully it's nothing too long. Hopefully it keeps you entertained for a little bit. Chris, how you doing?
Doing all right. I just hope that, this allows you to stay in touch. As the name of the show is, keep in touch.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm doing all right, man. It's definitely like we jumped on this. I'm like, wait, what day is it? Oh, it's Wednesday. It's not Tuesday or Monday. Like we try to record early in the week, and this week got pushed a little bit. It got shoved around. Not for lack of ideas, but for lack of time. So it's been a fast week for me. It's been interesting. Yesterday was Itel's 5th birthday. And, we had a good time. I was surprised that she wanted a telescope for her birthday.
Ooh,
so now I have to Google around and how do you work that thing? Because I got her a telescope, but I'm like, okay, like I never used one before, so now I got to do some YouTube videos and at least know where my stars are at, right?
Does it make you feel better that she at least asked for something that could stimulate her brain and help her to learn instead of just like smut wrestling trash or anything that just like dulls her brain?
I mean, she could have always asked for, a mask, a wrestler mask, but she didn't want to do that. So, yeah, the telescope's okay.
Okay. I think that's a good sign that your child maybe wants to learn some cool stuff. Maybe
I don't even know how or why. Like I told you, like she picks up stuff on her own, and we notice that she's she'll learn about something and she'll just dig deep and try to figure out what everything is. Like reading, she picked up on her own. Like the solar system, she like picked it up on her own because of a cartoon episode she watched. She did the same thing with animals and dinosaurs. Like when we read books at night, I try to avoid the dinosaur book because I can't pronounce all those things. But now I notice that if I stall a little bit, she'll pronounce it for me.
It's kind of like wrestlers' names.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I struggle with names. So it's not just wrestlers, it's dinosaurs and other animals.
You need to slip in some dirt sheets into the bedtime reading. Slip in an old copy of the Observer and get her interested in some of that.
I just kind of have a button like, oh, this is I can't even remember the name of a dinosaur right now.
Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Brontosaurus.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah, bro.
You went to kindergarten. You knew this shit.
I know
clearly didn't.
I know like the main 5. The ones in Land Before Time. You should show her Land Before Time. Have you showed her that? That's probably on Disney Plus.
Probably.
Yeah.
I remember watching that in Spanish as a kid.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, man. So that's been like my week, and then today was like I know we were supposed to record earlier, but then I just kept pushing the time. So from just within today, we decided to buy a couch. It's coming tomorrow. We need to get rid of the old couch.
It's a big commitment.
We bought a table through Wayfair a while ago, but it's been in the garage because we still hadn't bought the chairs to go with it. We finally acquired the chairs this weekend. They're coming in tomorrow. So it's like, oh shit, might as well get rid of the table too. So Facebook Marketplace, I put all my stuff out there. Everything is gone. So I just had to get it out the house so the new stuff could come in tomorrow.
Yeah, that works. I heard if I could Things will go on Facebook Marketplace.
And there's like, for example, like the couch that I was trying to get rid of. Like, look, I don't want anything for it. I just wanted it at the house. So like, there's groups that are dedicated just to free shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think they're called humans. Yeah, I'll take some free shit.
well, marketplace, you have to put a
Okay.
price on things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been my day. That's been my week. Trying to keep it all together while working and being productive.
Yeah, that's the balance we all strive to achieve in life, is to get your shit in, get your personal and family shit in during the week, but also don't get fired for
And
not
I snuck away
slacking
on
off.
Sunday. I snuck away on Sunday to Gali.
Snuck away as it like Carla turned around and you were gone. Snuck
Yeah, I'm
away.
like, yep, I wasn't here. She thinks I'm in the back working. She don't even know I'm gone.
Did you get a text? Where are you texting when you do that?
No, she knew about it. I mean, I had to get it cleared by her. So she's like, yeah, go ahead. Just come home, take a shower, get rid of those clothes. I don't know where those people have been. Um, but
Good
no,
point.
like, I mean, yeah, it was an outdoor show like the one we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
It was indoors. It was in the arena. A lot of social distancing, masks required. But still, bro, like when you were there, like I had thoughts. I'm like, damn, like one way or another, you are exposing yourself to a certain degree.
How was the show?
Um, but the show was good, man. Like it's golly, it's very spotty, and I mean, obviously, I don't know if there's any. At least I hadn't been to enough college shows prior to the pandemic to know if they're continuing storylines or starting new ones. But
Okay.
the show's good. I actually got to catch up with a couple people. Um, Angel from Freelance, we see him there helping out. He's part of the Freelance Academy. Davey Bang was there. August was there. So yeah, a few familiar faces, and it was just nice to catch up with a few people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It probably uh felt normal.
Yeah, and Airboy was there too. He's a super nice guy. Somehow he always remembers me, and it
Yeah,
was it was
Doc.
nice catching up with him as well.
When are you gonna
He
ask him on the
actually,
pod for that Spanish episode?
I know, dude. I actually thought about asking him that on the spot there, but I'm like, he's tired. He had a show in Indiana the day before. He was flying out that night. It was his birthday the next day. He also just like a week ago had a newborn.
Congrats
So
to him.
everything kind of like hit him, and he was telling me that he was actually thinking about not taking the booking or having to ask Carlos to not to reschedule him because also his dad was just getting over the hump of COVID in Mexico.
Oh geez, yeah. Maybe
So
it sounds like he's really
yeah,
busy then, so maybe
yeah, danger was out of the way for his dad and his family, and
yeah.
his kid is fine. But it was just a lot going on around them, so we just chatted up, and he'll be back.
That's cool. That's really cool
Coming
to hear.
soon in Espanol, Two Heels in the Face.
Yes, yes. It's gonna happen one day, right? But the GCW show, we got to take a look at it on Fight TV. Um, what did you think
Did
about
you
the
use a
show?
promo code?
I didn't. I didn't even look at one. I just went straight to purchasing it, and
Yeah, neither
that's
did
not like
I.
me at all.
And I'm pretty sure I bought it after you did, and I was gonna be like, "Yo, you got a promo code?" But I don't
Yeah,
even know if that's how it works on Fight TV anymore.
I was just gonna like send you my login, but then I was like watching it at different points throughout the day, and I didn't know how that would work if like you were
Yeah,
watching it and I was watching
no,
it,
same
and
thing.
like
And it's a reasonable price. I mean,
yeah,
it's
oh yeah,
a three
absolutely,
plus hour show for $15 to watch it from the comfort of in front of my three screens here while I was working. It was great.
yeah. Oh, I will fully admit I'm just being a cheap ass, but it is absolutely a reasonable show, 100% and worth the money. And yeah, what did you? I thought the venue was really cool. What
Yeah,
did you think about that?
I thought that was nice. The nice waterfall in the background, like during the day, like there was a lot of light. I
Yeah,
thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool setup. Like also the fact that it was outdoors, and I think they mentioned a commentary that it might be the first time independent wrestling like has a venue like this in a national park, or takes wrestling takes place at a national park. And I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but it could be.
Hmm, maybe. Yeah, I'm surprised no one jumped off the waterfall. Or
Well,
like that wasn't even teased or anything like that. Like,
yeah, a few things that
I
I
don't know.
noticed is that like people would kind of read, or the audience would kind of read when dives were going to happen, so they'll just get out the way.
Yeah,
So social distancing kept
yeah.
its trueness.
But like, yeah, no, I was kind of being facetious about that waterfall spot, um, I mean, Janela jumping off like things on the boardwalk and things like that,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, they kept it pretty tame in terms of jumping off stuff, even though the scenery was really cool to look at. There was like corporate buildings in the background, and the sky was like really pretty at one point, really pretty blue. And also there was like the bridge. Did you see the bridge of just like people who were walking on the bridge, kind of like who
I
probably
don't
didn't
think I
even.
noticed that.
It was like on the river side, so it was like
Hmm.
if you're looking at Hardcam, it was to the left of Hardcam, whereas the right
Okay.
was like the kind of
The
steps.
steps.
Yeah,
Hmm.
um, and those people I think were just like passerbys because I don't think
Oh, that's
no one
cool.
would buy. It was like to the left was like the the river, the White River, right? That's what's called, White
Hmm.
River, and then a bridge kind of like connect like above the White River, and it just looked like people were just kind of walking by and like stopping to like, oh, what is this, wrestling? Oh, is this fake shit? Like probably saying things like that.
Hmm.
But it was, yeah, it was really cool. Like I kept found myself looking in the background all the time when I was watching the show.
I got to see James from
Oh yeah, I
Freelance
saw.
Underground in the
And
background.
Hank, to next
Hank.
Hank, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that was good.
Uh I know they were stuck in the freeway coming back home after the show. I happened to be on, I think I was maybe playing PlayStation for a little bit, and I looked at my phone and they went live on Instagram. Then somehow they lost their audio and we couldn't hear them. But those guys, I miss those guys.
They were just
Two
trying to
Juice was
entertain
in the
themselves.
back. Yeah. So that was a fun car ride, I'm sure.
Yeah, you gotta have two juices in the back. You can't be driving after he's been sipping on two juices all day. Don't drink and
You know
drive.
it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it looked like a cool venue. It was a really fun show. Um, we were all trying to keep in touch, 6 feet apart, and
Keep in touch 6 feet apart. That's right. Um,
yeah. What stuck
so
out to you?
what stuck out to me, I mean, I can go right for it, and it was Kylie Ray's just hearing her music after a while and her gear, like I think her gear was pretty cool. And then how they would normally introduce Nick Gage, they introduced Kylie but in a censored version. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the play on the different, the flipping and the effing instead of
Hmm.
dropping the f word. And yeah, I wonder whose idea was that. I don't know if that was her idea or to be MD Kylie, or if someone else had the idea. But it was a great effing idea.
Great
Um,
effing idea.
Great effing idea, and yeah, I mean it worked perfectly. The crowd, it was like we were talking before. The crowd with a spread out outdoor arena, it was hard to kind of hear that crowd at some points on when you're watching it through the stream.
Hmm.
But Kylie's reception was well, and once again we say this all the time. We're biased. We're 100% biased, but it was a very loud reception to all of that going
Yeah,
on.
and honestly, dude, as I was watching this match, like I, I don't know, like, and of course, like we're in a new era of wrestling, but my thought is like Kylie is a wrestler, right? Like there's sometimes when you watch women's wrestling, you watch it with a different lens, or there's maybe a different connotation like when you're watching it. But Kylie, like really, like we've seen her go against different opponents, male, female, and this is the time. Like when I was watching this, maybe because it's been a while since I don't see her wrestle, and it's like she's a fucking wrestler. Like she knows what she's doing, and she fucking got chopped in the mouth to top it off. Like that was insane.
Dude, that was extremely cringeworthy. Even the announcers, Prazak, and I'm not sure who the other guy was, but the announcers did a fantastic job. They didn't know like what happened. They didn't know if like she ducked it or it hit because you heard the sound, but she like tried to slip under it and it looked like Cole Radrick missed. But
Hmm.
then I saw her, then she was holding her mouth and they're like, oh, I think she like tried to dip under it and got caught in the mouth, like where her chest would have been.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, if you have to you just judge a person on their athleticism and their fluidity and whether they can wrestle or not. Like that's how you have to. That's how you should be able to judge. Or I mean, that's not all wrestling is. But if you're gonna say that a match isn't believable, like Kylie
Right.
is 100%. Like you could pick out like 10 people on that roster. Kylie's more athletic than they are. Like, how is she not capable of having a wrestling match with a dude? She is. So we know that. But if like you put two silhouettes in that ring, Cole Radrick was a white silhouette. Kylie Ray was like a white silhouette. Like, and those silhouettes wrestled in like a simulated version of that match. You'd be like, this match is 100% like a great pure wrestling match and has athletic moves and has slams and has a bunch of shit. So you just have to look at the body of work of the individual, no matter if they have a bow in their hair or not, you know? And
Well, I mean, we tried. They tried putting a bow on on Radrick.
yes,
It didn't work out that well.
yeah, I know. He didn't have a ton of hair at first, but I think it was one of those clip-ons.
Uh huh.
Like she couldn't find like I'm like due for a haircut, but if
Same
you're not,
here.
yeah, but she couldn't find the thick part of his hair at first, but I think she finally got it on.
Yeah, she got it off for like 30 seconds. That came off real quick. But yeah, man, it was like again, and we're gonna go through a few matches on this card where it's like, for example, Effie. When I heard his song, it's like, I'm like, did it just feel good inside to see like Effie walking down those steps, listening, like hearing his entrance music.
And then it got
You
cut
know,
off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like there were different moments in here where it's like yeah, it's been a while, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
I missed this, but I'm happy I'm watching this because we didn't get to watch it live.
Yeah, if you're really into if you're wrestling as a buffet, if your buffet is the storytelling, and the in ring storytelling and like and a slower paced match, slower ish. I think the tag team match with Effie Cat and 440 was the best storytelling match and the most consistent like ongoing story in GCW. And I don't think we watch a ton of GCW. Not that we like
Hmm.
don't watch on purpose because everything I hear about the promotion is great. Um, but I think that's really the only ongoing story that I kind of know of,
Hmm.
and is like the building of that faction, and they delivered in terms of being d bags and killing the vibe that Effie was trying to put out.
Okay, so let's talk real quick about that. So it was 440 Atticus Cogar, Ricochet Page with Girder Iron, right?
Yep.
Uh, defeated Alley Cat and Effie. So I talked about Effie's entrance. Since when does he have an entrance mask? Is this something that I didn't know about? Or was this new?
No.
But the commentators made it seem like it's something he's done before.
Maybe it was a lucha mask, wasn't it? Or it seemed like one from afar.
Right, but they said that it was his entrance mask, and I'm like, well, is it just for this time? Is this the first time he introduces the mask? Because I also was trying to like catch a good eye and see what that mask looked like, and it
Maybe
just
cop it
I
off him
didn't.
for a cool 60.
16 might be a decent price, bro. I am weak. I bought that initial mask, and like I have so many coming. Like we're good for like at least 2 months of
It's like
Mask
you're
Mondays.
an addict that fell off the wagon, is what you are.
Absolutely, dude. I
Yeah,
was doing so good and I relapsed.
you've
Relapsed hard.
hard,
I
hard.
got
Well,
I'll let you guys know. I got Prince Puma's mask coming my way.
ooh,
And that's one that I had my eye on ever since like early on. And once that was out there, I'm like, yes, here's my paycheck. Take it away.
did you save during the quarantine?
uh Yes and no. Like
So,
obviously you saved a lot because we weren't going anywhere. Like and it was just groceries and home.
yeah,
So you saved that way.
but you had a child.
Exactly. Um, but along with that, you know, one way or another, like good contracts have come from work, so we were
Okay,
able to like give ourselves a little bonus here and there. So I'm like, okay, big bonus goes towards the new kid, and she
right.
can have as much formula as she wants, because that's a challenge. I'm telling you,
Slamming
man.
formula, guzzling,
Yeah,
guzzling Steve Weiser's a formula.
ounces and ounces. But I had a little money set aside for fun stuff, and Jesus, like once I bought that one mask, so I put that first one out there on Monday, like within minutes to spare, because I wanted to get it out on Monday, which was the Dr. Wagner old school,
Yeah,
Dr. Wagner
you
Senior.
post 11:59 on Monday.
Yeah, like the whole day I thought I'm like I'll get to it, I'll get to it, and I snuck it in Mask Monday, the first one. And yeah, like I have in hand here, I have two others, and I think I have four on the way, with that one being Prince Pumas.
That's sweet. Yeah, don't tell me the other ones, but that's a really cool one.
Hmm. Yeah, that was the one I was really excited to get. But yeah, we'll
Oh,
keep going with the Mask Mondays. And going back to this, I was just like, did he not have it before? Did I not know about this?
maybe it's just been like a
Um,
quarantine thing he's been doing because instead of wearing you know, a a, um, a quarantine mask to the ring, he decides to do that. I don't know. His hair grew. He still had the quarantine hair going.
yeah,
And noticed his hair was he's got the long look at least.
longer
Now.
beard, a little scruffy.
Yeah, longer beard, a little scruffy. Then yeah, he's just living. He's just trying
And,
to adjust back.
and the other observation, I don't know if you noticed, but those 440 come out with Elena Black's music.
Dude, yes. I was wondering where
when
that
that when they played, I'm like, is Elena in this match? But that
I
was my
yeah,
thought. Hmm.
that was a very good call because I knew I recognized that music before, and I was just like, I
Hmm.
don't think that's because Ricky Shane Page comes out to like a lot of different stuff. I feel like at
Hmm.
freelance and like doesn't like tries to switch it up. And yes, it was like you're 100% right. That was the Lionel Black's music. That was a very good call because I was like I know it sounds familiar, but I don't know. I guess he uses this. Like I said, we haven't watched a ton of GCW. Like you can't
Right.
go on Twitter without seeing clips of GCW, so I kind of know like what the roster is and what happens and stuff. But yeah, that was a very good catch by you. I'm very impressed.
Thank you. I know I recognize the music. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, throughout this whole watching the show, I was more excited about the music. Just started hearing people's entrance back. It
yeah.
made me feel good.
And there's
Um,
another Ohio faction with the number four in it. I know that the
that's right.
440 is an area code. Uh, and
Ah,
then
okay.
yeah, that's the area code. Yeah, area code. For like hopefully or for like phone numbers.
Oh, in
Um,
Ohio.
yeah, and that's maybe just a coincidence. Like Ohio is four killers and 440, just using the number four. But it kind of reminded me a little bit of that. Um, but yeah, they're definitely doing stuff in a different way. They're definitely those people that you just want to strangle, but you can't get your hands on them kind of feeling
Mhm.
like, oh, these guys suck so bad, but somehow they're winning and you just want to like see the worst for them kind of faction or group. That's the feeling I get when I watch them.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. Also, this is quote unquote, we're new to GCW as far as like watching and talking about a show they just recently had, but I don't know how new 440 is, because the first time I found out about 440 was actually pre this a few days before the pro wrestling pro wrestling tees summer sale went on. I
Mm,
saw that Ricochet Page was promoting the 440 shirts, so I'm like,
yeah.
oh, okay. And then I watched the show and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the rest of the crew.
I don't think it's like they're like a year old, but they were definitely like I think the crew was, and once again, just following GCW
Hmm.
via Twitter, like like not watching a lot of their shows. But it was the original crew was Ricky Shane Page and Kogar and Iron, and then I think Eric Ryan came on. Like that was the whole thing. Remember when AJ Gray
Mhm.
won the title for like a second?
Yeah.
It was like kind of around that time, I think. Then like
Okay.
I think Eric Ryan like came on like maybe a little bit after that time, and then they became I don't know when the name came, but I think this faction thing's been kind of going on for a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, as long as ever since like Ricky Shane Page was like chasing Nick Gage for the title, and then
Hmm.
he won it off of AJ Gray in that impromptu match, and then like during his reign. So I wouldn't say I don't know how new the name is, but yeah, I think these guys have like they've established themselves, so to
Hmm.
speak.
And just to point out, overall throughout this show, like, because I was able to look at like timestamps. Everybody, I think pretty much every match was over 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's great. What do you think about like the mostly singles format? I know GCW does this with a lot of their shows. Do you like that?
Hmm. I think there were some matches, so that kind of left me like, oh, I want to see more, but I know we're actually gonna. So, and I'll just talk briefly about this one: the Blake Christian versus Trey Lamar. I know Trey Lamar caught my attention when I first saw him at Underground, because I remember asking James about him. Uh, and I
Yes.
hope I'm not, confusing
No.
that, but
No.
I'm
No.
pretty
No.
sure that's the first time I saw him. And this match kind of left me wanting a little more. Like I feel like they both like came in with more of a grounded style. At least I didn't get to. I thought it was just going to be a lot of crazy spots, but also I don't know if that's what GCW brings out of you, like a more hard grounded type of style. And I
Mm,
know we're gonna get to see some of. We're gonna see Trey Lamar and Warrior this upcoming Friday.
right.
So we'll see what he brings. But yeah, the mostly singles matches was interesting. And then we had the tag team match. I think I told you when we were just briefly talking about the show prior recording. I enjoyed I guess I missed the scramble that we're used to with freelance. Um, I really enjoyed the six-way scramble match between Alex Zane, Ace Austin, Isaias Velasquez, Jimmy Lloyd, Jordan Oliver, and Shane Mercer. And when I saw Shane Mercer walking down those steps, I felt my mouth burning. I remembered him. I was like,
Flashbacks.
yeah, I had flashbacks.
Yeah, I would. Sorry, I would. I think every card is mostly singles, but it seems like GCW really loads up the singles matches. So that's it.
Hmm.
It kind of seems like something they do, and they do a really good job of building up like their entire card, though. I think so. Every kind of singles match feels like a cool mix up. And something you might not have seen before. But yeah, I just want to get your take on that. I thought the entrance stairs were a little awkward, just because it like takes them forever to like they're like hopping down. They're like,
Hmm.
oh, da 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 da, like 1 2 1 2. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
not
for
a huge complaint, but it was just
right.
funny to see like them taking forever to kind
But
of.
it makes you notice, right? That like the entrance, it's a part of someone's character. Like for example, Mercer, serious. He's there to kick your ass. Like he can't do that slow intimidated walk. Like he's even like taking some steps. Like even going down those steps because they're so long. Like he can't do that slow walk and slow approach to the ring,
Right.
which is not a big deal, but it also makes you, for fans like us, like, oh, you can tell the difference a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's very true.
With
Um,
Kylie, she, runs around and she's happy-go-lucky, so not much difference there. But with a different character, a more serious, intimidating
yeah. It
character.
was it wasn't that different for her because she usually like stops and like will animate to one crowd
Mm-hmm.
person and then keep going, and then like that's what she was doing on the steps. She like stopped on
Yeah.
a landing, animated, and then yeah, it felt the same. Um, yeah, Isaiah was in the was this is I know he's been on like joint shows, but I don't know if he's ever
Mm-hmm.
been on a GCW solo show. So it was cool to see him get his spot. Everyone had their spots in the scramble. He did like a double crucifix flip over thingamajig, driver, bomb, whatever you want to call
Mm-hmm.
it. But that was really cool. So yeah, it'd be cool to see him on these more, doing some of these like highlighted singles matches and things like that. And yeah, the Trey Lamar match at Warrior will
Yeah.
probably be sweet.
Ace Austin, kicked off the match with like without removing his mask. And it was I noticed there was a Conan mask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the face mask was a design at a Conan's original mask when he was wearing a mask
Oh
before he
wow.
lost it. Hmm.
Oh, I didn't know he wore one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been looking out for that too, but you know.
Yeah. Scouring the webs. But yeah, there was yeah, I mean, he was able to breathe with it fine on, doing moves, slamming
Hmm.
people. No, no, it was great. He was a debut for GCW, Ace
Yeah.
Austin. So it's like there's just a lot of good people that work for this company, a lot of great people. Like the roster is really stacked.
And who's the one that tweeted saying that people have been sleeping on Isaias Velasquez matches?
I think it was Stephen Wolf.
Oh, it was not Stephen
It
Wolf.
was
It's
not
the other
Stephen Wolf.
Wolf.
Was it the
Airwolf.
Airwolf?
Airwolf, yeah. I thought it was somebody from this match, but no.
I
But
just,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think like Isaiah's is still what? When did we interview him? Like December 2019?
Yeah, probably because it was cold outside, I think. Then again,
Yeah.
that means a big chunk of Chicago, but
So like he's not even a year into. He's not even a year, right? I mean, he's not even a year into quitting his job and traveling. Like,
right.
so
He's
there's so
getting
many.
exposing himself out there. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
slowly people are getting to see him and it's like, yep, like that's the guy you want in your roster.
Right. Yeah. He's a welcome addition to any roster. Yeah. And yeah, he's just different companies and like different. I'm sure different companies have like their home fan bases,
Yeah,
and then like
absolutely.
they're going to be introduced to this guy. So yeah, it's people here in Chicagoland area have had their eyes wide open, but unless you specifically like sought out freelance, you probably might not know who he is.
Which you could. Scott out freelance. I'm sure promo
Yes.
code freelance at IWTV will get you 20 days for free. And since we're kind of plugging other promotions, Cello Pro is now on IWTV, and that's where they're going to stream their show. If you're not
Yep.
able to attend, we'll talk a little bit more about that as we close the episode. But just thought,
Oh, will we?
why not?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't know if I didn't know
Uh,
if you reached out to someone without letting me know.
no,
Probably.
no.
Just kidding.
Um, but what did you think about the main event here? ACH versus Joey Janela.
um, I thought the main event was good. I like the ACH and Janela kind of like went around the park. I kind of wanted to
Hmm.
like see people wrestle in the park more. I was like kind of itching for that, and they did it a little bit, but they didn't. I don't think they did it enough. I would have wanted to see them like fight up the steps. Like this was when you're crowded in the Bourbon Street, people fight in that, and there's like there's a wave of chairs being shoved everywhere, and it's just like, oh, now I got to get on my chair now, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
this is kind of cool.
This is where I pick up the bucket of Modelo's and
Yeah,
switch over.
I understand you're not supposed to like be around people, but they'll move. Like this
Yeah.
was the place to go, unless they were specifically told not to. I could just be
Mhm.
shoving my foot in my mouth, but this seemed like the place to like go wrestle in the grass patch out there. Go wrestle up the steps. Go wrestle like this seemed like the place for that. So it would have been cool to see that happen. Like the main event, the co-main weren't my favorite matches of the card. No offense to the
Mhm.
performers because they're amazing performers. I think my favorite matches were the Kylie and Radrick match, the tag match, the Mansour versus Nate Webb had a bunch
Yeah.
of good table spots, and then maybe the scramble. So those were like my favorite matches. And I think ACH won with a low blow, and the announcers kept like putting that low blow over.
Hmm.
So I don't know, it would be cool to see ACH try to be like a true heel, because I feel like every time he tries to, he's just like his goofy self, and
Yeah.
he's not. But yeah, I don't know. The main event was good, but it left me craving a little bit more. And I think at other times during the show, I think I was more satisfied.
The main event was nearly 30 minutes long. It was 24 minutes.
Okay.
So they had quite the time. And like again, I point out the time because usually you don't get this amount of time at all these shows. And from the get, and then I don't know, maybe GCW does run their shows this way. I haven't like from GCW. I hear the buzz. I watch highlights. I sort of know what's going on, but I don't think I've actually like watched the full show. And when they've been in town, for one reason or another, I haven't been able to make it. So. But yeah, you pointed out the Mance Warner, Nate Webb, like these two guys. I'm like, just going back to the whole music thing, like just hearing both of
Yes.
their music, entrance, like Nate Webb's, entrance music that plays throughout the whole thing, like great. Mance Warner's also kind of, I don't know what song that is, but it's like really slow and
Simple Man.
there you go. And really, it's Mance Warner. Like you hear it, and I'm like, that's what you think of right away. Um,
Yeah, they didn't have a problem with the
mhm.
steps, those two. They had,
Oh,
I think if you have like a slower entrance where you don't have to walk like a badass,
yeah.
then you don't have a problem with the steps. If you have to walk like a badass, like you said, you might have a problem with the skipping. But that was the battle of the entrances for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a good show. It was good to see, some of these people that we haven't seen in a long time, see them back in the ring. Arrow Boy was saying the same thing at the Gotti. It's like, bro, I haven't wrestled in 5 months. Like, and I'm having, I just had a show yesterday and the show today. Like, let's see if I remember how to do this shit. Like,
It's probably
so
a
a
little
lot.
bit of rust. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and maybe if you don't like, not to the fan, like you might not see that rust, but just with it in your body, I don't know if that like just taking those bumps on a regular, and from doing that to not taking a bump in 5 months, like that has to have some wear and tear until your body adjusts again.
Yeah, it's probably that, but it's probably that you're right, but your body's probably ready to adjust or it can take hopefully a lot because hopefully they've been healing in this time, right?
That's true too.
So, but yeah, that definitely like from what I've heard, I'm not a wrestler. I'll never be a wrestler. Hopefully, Isaiah will teach
But
me how to run the ropes
right,
one day.
but Isaiah's agreed to teach you run the ropes.
I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna take his word for that, and we're gonna run the ropes one day. But you and we'll do the Hogan Warrior, where it's you and me, like
Just doing
crisscrossing.
the four-way kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And what was I even saying? I didn't even know where I was going, but I lost my train of thought. I think I've been drinking too much.
Oh, hard seltzers are getting to you.
What was I saying before that? What were we talking? I just envisioned
We're talking
myself running the
about
ropes. Oh,
uh
yeah. From what I've heard, is like the first couple bumps back is like jumping into a cold pool.
okay.
So it's like a shock, but then hopefully their body can take more of a shock because it's more healed. I don't know. I'm not a wrestler, but you have to ask them.
All we can speculate is, after we run the ropes. I know, or what I've seen in what was that MTV show WWE put where Matt Cross was in there, Stone Cold did the training. Do you remember the name of the show? Tough Enough.
Tough
Like
enough.
I know from Tough Enough, after running the ropes, you're gonna be Bruce Charlie.
Yeah, yeah. That's why
You
I'm
ready?
like. That's why it's like, and it's gonna be difficult. That's why everyone's like, you know, all they want to do is run the ropes. What kind of a goal is that? I was like, well, it's a hard. I think it's a hard thing to do. Like you have to be trained to run the ropes. So it's attainable, hopefully, but it's within reach, but still challenging is what I'm going for. Right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Challenge accepted.
challenge accepted. So yeah, once we give Isaiah and Kylie their beggars gift card when we meet them,
Yeah.
2 years from now when the coronavirus is gone, then we'll run the ropes. It'll be glorious.
Glorious, I tell you.
Hmm.
Um, so real quick, I did mention Cello Pro, and so Cello Pro's having their show August 15th, Joe's on Wait Street. Drama King, formerly known as Aiden English,
Oh
will
yeah,
be there.
yeah. Is he going to be in action?
He's gonna be there. I don't know if he's gonna be there in action or introduce Rusev. Who knows? Rusev is not promised. That's just me talking, but I mean,
Oh
who
man,
knows? Wouldn't that be sort of cool? I think maybe. I don't know. I hear Rusev lost his Twitch channel due to Lana walking in the background in a bikini. So Twitch is like, no, Rusev, you can't have that.
they're pretty strict. I heard. Yeah, I heard like even if you like sing a song that's copyrighted, even if you're just like singing it. I think I don't know. Yeah, there's
See,
different triggers.
that's why we're killing it in Daily Motion, Charlie. Daily
That's why
Motion
we're
does not
number
have
one.
those. Yep, they don't
We're
have those
number one in
restrictions on
day.
there.
Yeah, we're number one in Daily Motion. We own Daily Motion. We have stock in Daily Motion. Follow us on Daily Motion, and you won't be disappointed. But no, Aiden English could be really fun, man. I mean, like he's killer on the mic.
The other half of what is it? The Billigans? Well, I don't even remember the name of the team, but
Are you trying to say the Vaudevillains?
there you go. There,
Oh boy, the Bud. You
shit.
came up with the Bud Billikens.
It's been
That's
a
brutal.
while.
That's
It's been a
brutal.
while
It's not
without
even
wrestling, and
close.
it's been a while since I talked about them. But his counterpart should also be there at Cello. Well, I mean, not should be there, but just saying he's familiar with the Cello crowd. He had that big rivalry with Pat Monix.
Yeah, Project Pat Monix, who's like posting content like every now and then. Did you
Right.
see that?
I don't, yeah, I'm like, all right, Pat, what are you trying to tell us? Are you just teasing us?
Probably.
I, I'm around for the tease. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here for it.
But
Definitely.
yeah, Cello Pro August 15th. If you're not going to be at Joe's on Wheat Street, you can go to iwtv.live and you can catch them there. You can actually use the promo code Cello Pro for a 5-day trial.
Cool.
If you want to brush up on freelance, I'm sure freelance still has a promo code freelance. I'm not sure if you're going to get 5 or 20 days for free, but IWTV, watch some wrestling.
Absolutely. Yeah. We plan on being at the Zello show, mask in hand, and you know, as
I also
distant. I'll wave to
mhm.
you. I'll wave to you.
we'll cheers from far away.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at Cello Pro's Facebook page. That's where I got this info. Because clearly I'm not going to remember off of the top of my head. I just know that I'm going to be there.
Yep.
Um, and I talked about the summer sale for Pro Wrestling Tees, which is going on. Probably by the time you hear this, the sale will be off. Because it's up on August 6th, which that's tomorrow. I don't think that's happening. But I spent a pretty penny also buying gear, not gear, t-shirts.
Who'd you buy?
I was like, look, I got the money right now. Let me support my friends. I bought a t-shirt from the Backstage Boys. I bought their team cart, which it's made up of Basil and Rob Malinowski, who also celebrated his birthday this week
I thought that was like an
or last
exclusive.
week.
I thought that,
Oh,
well, happy belated. I thought that was like an exclusive group that they didn't want. They don't, every time you ask that, they're like,
that's
don't worry
TMC.
about it. Oh, that's not Team Cart?
No, Team Cart. I think it started because of Basil and Rob will have a cart full of their shit that they needed to get into LaSalle.
Like an actual shopping cart?
No, like a dolly cart type of
Oh, okay.
with all their equipment. So I think that's what Team Cart started, and I was like I got that. I got Mad Nick's old school MK logo with the Chicago flag.
Cool.
Um, I got the Marty and Sarah. Uh, what is it? The Chicago. You know how normally they will have the wrestling heart logo.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a Chicago colors, colored heart logo type of thing. It says wrestling on it as well. Um, I scooped up the new Cello T-shirt, the Samoan design.
Oh, nice. That's a cool one.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think I got those four. And of course, I got myself a Two Heels and a Face T-shirt, which I don't think I've ever bought a Two Heels and a Face T-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees before.
I was gonna get a shirt for Castro,
Hmm.
but I don't know what size he is, and now the sale ends in like an hour, doesn't it?
Probably.
Yep. So there goes that. But I think we'll get him one eventually. Just pay full price for it. Not really full price, because if we're buying our own T-shirt, don't we get some of
I think so. I think that's how Pro Wrestling Tees work.
that? Funny. Okay.
uh,
Well, that's good.
yeah,
That's
like
good.
I went
Yeah.
around. Yeah,
Props to you for that.
it's been I had the thought for a while, and I'm like, look, if I don't act on it now, I'm not gonna get there. So supporting, the local podcast scene.
Yeah. Speaking of, I've been listening to My Violent Tendencies. I listened to the Dan to Dad episode. It was really good. I'd recommend that. Danny Adams seems like a really straightforward father figure, or a real down to earth father figure. Our friend, the real Jeremy Zaha, is launching a podcast.
Yes, I was gonna get to that. I was like, so it's funny because when you told me, because you texted me like, hey, I was just, working with Jeremy on his new podcast. I was actually like maybe
Were you
five
just
minutes.
mocking me?
Why?
I was just working with Jeremy on his new podcast. Is that were you
I
mocking me?
didn't want to say that you were going to be a guest on his upcoming podcast. I didn't want to give it away, but since you're about breaking news, I guess we'll tell the people that you're a guest on Jeremy's upcoming podcast. Uh, no, but like 5 minutes prior, you texting me that I had just learned about that through the Pro Wrestling Tees podcast. Well, not Pro Wrestling Tees, PWT podcast with Scrump and Stink, which I also bought a shirt from them as well. Um, and
Nice.
I heard that Jeremy was having a podcast. I'm like, what? They call him Cousin Jeremy. I'm like, the real Jeremy Saha?
The real Jeremy
So
Zaha.
yeah, like that's cool. And I actually went and I listened to his little intro. Like it's like when I say little, it's just because it's like 30 seconds long or something like that.
Yeah, it's a trailer.
Um, but like dude has a voice for podcasting. We've known this for a while. He's entertaining. And I think, it's not a wrestling podcast. I think it's something that everyone can enjoy.
He literally just interviews people about what they like, and
Hmm.
he doesn't even have to like the topic. It's the most selfless podcast of all time. Um, he likes, my topic was Dungeons and Dragons. He likes Dungeons and Dragons, so that one was probably like, as giving to me as it was to him. But so that's a spoiler. But yeah, he has already got episodes like banked. He's a
He's doing it the
natural.
right way.
Yeah, he's a natural conversationalist.
Hmm.
And he's doing it the right way, and he's being proactive about it. And I'm excited to. I honestly want to listen to all the other ones. Like, I won't spoil. I know like one of the other topics, and it's
Hmm.
something that Jeremy has never done in his life. So imagine. I mean, that's hard to do. Like, imagine like we sat down, we didn't know each other, and I'm like, "What do you like, guy?" Or we knew each other a
Hmm.
little bit. I'm like, "What do you like?"
And
And
that's the name of the podcast, right?
yeah,
What do you like?
what do you like? You're like, I want to talk about stock options. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I don't really know much about that, but go for it. And then like, I have to like keep asking engaging questions. Like, it should be really fun. So hopefully he said there's some people that we know, or that he said, on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like what
Well,
everyone's like
here's some
passionate
familiar
about.
voices I know, but like I think overall, like you said, it's a very interesting approach, right, to podcasting, where it's like, yeah, like I'm just here to talk about what you like to talk about.
Dude, Jeremy's like, he's got it made. He's like, because of the format of the podcast, it's evergreen constantly. Like, this episode we're recording right now is not evergreen.
Mhm. No.
like maybe someone really is interested
After
in,
the 6 fans listen to it, it'll
right?
just die.
But he's like, I do no prep work. Like he's just like, because he kind of starts off with like maybe a couple starter questions, but then he just keeps building on what the person said. So
Hmm.
like, and the person will just ramble about what they love forever. So he's got the formula down, man. He like metagamed the podcast and outthought it. Simple is better sometimes.
Hey, we all knew he was a genius once he said that he liked comedy wrestling.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
So, hmm well, you know, clearly we haven't figured out the podcasting game because I don't know how to close out this episode, but I think we're near the end.
It's just close it out. I think that you can find GCW on Fight TV, and you should support Warrior Wrestling Zella Pro. Those two are running.
Support the wrestling that's going on and support the wrestlers that have a pro wrestling tee store.
Yep.
I know there's What a Maneuver stores. Any merch that you can buy from a wrestler, if you have the money to spare and you want to buy some merch, you can do it online. I'm pretty sure, mostly with everybody except Isaias Velasquez. I can't find merch from him anywhere. So Isaias, if you're out there and you're listening to this, get a store going. I'm sure there'll be people. People are getting to know who you are. I've been knowing who you are, and I want to get merch. So,
Okay.
um, but all right. As far as we go, you can find us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. 2 Heels and a Face. Number 2 Heels and a Face. Instagram, I'll be posting Mask Mondays for a good while. Um, at my expense because I am an addict and I can't stop. I need to stop. Um, but enjoy. Like the masks. Let me know what you think. Um, Other than that, you can check out our website, 2heelsandaface.com. Check out our previous episodes there. But you can also subscribe, rate, and review in other platforms such as
iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher Radio. We got Stitcher Radio specifically for the real Jeremy Zaha, and he got to listen to himself on Stitcher. So yeah, Stitcher is a platform, and yeah. Other than that, hashtag MD Kylie Ray all effing day.
All F and Day. And don't forget to hashtag BeatUpGPA.
As always,
All right. Thanks.
peace.